Hey guys, it's Ralle here and welcome to a new series on my channel called FUT Draft, the collection book, the collector. I'm not really sure what to call it. This is sort of episode 0, an introduction to the series, and maybe after I've explained the idea of the series, you guys can come up with a proper name for the series before we start out. But the idea is basically, we're going to play the draft. It's probably one of the game modes I like the most on Ultimate Team, and I kind of want to have a series around it. We'll still have FUT Manager going, but I want to do this alongside it because I really do like playing the draft, as I said. So we'll play the draft, and it'll probably be live commentary while we draft the team and play games. But because the draft is such, like if you play and win all 4 games, it's a quite lengthy video. Like if you have to have 4 games and drafting a team, so we'll probably speed it a little bit up when we build the team like here, and we'll still have my reactions. But then if we get someone cool or something like that, then we'll do sort of real-time reaction of, like, if we get a cool legend or an inform or something that just suits our team. But apart from that, we'll go relatively quick through the squad building, I think, and then get into some of the gameplay. And this is just an example. This episode 0, anything that happens in this episode doesn't really count towards the series. It's just merely the introduction. So in this case, I managed to get a pretty nice La Liga team. Ronaldo, we got Bale, Suarez, Neymar, a couple of players not on full chemistry, but still a pretty competitive team for the draft. And with this series, whenever you play the draft, you're going to play some games, you're going to face some teams, and when we play the draft, of course, we'll try and go as far as possible in it. So we want to win, but at the same time, I still want to focus a little bit more on entertaining gameplay. So we'll try and score cool goals along the way. And with the draft, you very often get the likes of Ronaldo and Neymar, some of the really high rated cards. And those cards are really good to play with and score good goals with. And there's usually a lot of interesting informs and skillers around in the draft. So we'll try and play entertaining in this series as well. A little bit more entertaining than we did when maybe playing in the divisions and such. Here, the aim will, of course, be to try and score cool goals and win in style. I think that'll be the main objective. So maybe we'll lose some drafts due to me trying to score cool goals. But I still think it makes the series a little bit more entertaining when we try for sort of crazy stuff along the way. And this was just from one draft, and I managed to get a lot of really nice goals with the team I had to use. And finally, in the end, depending on how well we do, we might get 1, 2, 3, 4. We might get no wins, but we'll get rewards after having played the draft. And that is where we get to the name of this series, because it's sort of, because when playing the draft, I was thinking of an idea to sort of include it into a series, because it's a little bit tricky, because you always start with a new team. But one thing that is consistent is that you get packs after each draft, and I got pretty lucky in the first pack. I got Hazard, but the idea is that we'll collect these players we get in the packs, and the players we'll be collecting is players from the Premier League, Ligue 1, Serie A, Bundesliga, and La Liga. So sort of the 5 big leagues, and we will try and build teams around the players we get. So sort of the end goal of this series is sort of to have 5 full starting 11s alongside with substitutes and maybe also reserves, depending on how fast it goes. Because as you can see here, like if you do well in the draft, you get a lot of players from your packs, and eventually you fill up these starting 11s relatively quick. But the idea is, of course, we'll try and build a full starting 11 such that we have players in every single position. And then at the end of the series, we'll try and play with these different teams we managed to get. But as I said, this is just episode 0, so Eden Hazard, which I just got, is not going to count towards the series itself. And all the players you see here are just sort of, just sort of a way of showing how it's going to work. So we'll open up our packs, we'll get the players from the leagues, and then at the end of each episode, we'll add those players into our team, and we'll see how far we get. So as I managed to win the draft with that crazy team I had, I got quite a lot of Premier League players. I got a couple of Ligue 1 players, but still a long way to go there. Quite a few Serie A players as well. And then we got a few Bundesliga players, and then La Liga I managed to get just 1 player. So I don't know how long it's going to take, but I don't think this is a series that will run for like 20-30 episodes. I'm thinking maybe 10-15 episodes, something like that. I don't want it to be everlasting, but just want to play something with the draft and try and get it going. So that is pretty much the idea of this series. Building the squads is sort of to have an objective to playing the draft. I hope that makes sense. And if you have any ideas for the name of this series, leave them down below in the comments. And if you have any ideas for something you think that maybe could be added or something like that to the series, let me know as well. And that is pretty much all for this video, sort of episode 0. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm looking forward to sort of the idea of using the draft and playing the draft. And that is pretty much all. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.